There are circumstances that might cause selective memory. For whatever reason, her memory might not have been stored properly in her mind.
Are we gonna have to
This is not
sync with her?
uncharacteristic for those suffering from dementia.
I don't think we can.
There's no point in letting this go on. She's clearly lying.
You seemed convinced earlier.
I was kidding. I don't think she's the killer.
I am the killer! I am!
Right now, we have to rely on hard evidence. The Odoroki Man chocolate that Mayumi bought was found at the warehouse.
If Mayumi was at the scene before Ota,
She may have seen the criminal's face.
You know what I'm going to say, right? Date, sync with her.
Syncing with someone that has dementia, though? How's that gonna be? That's gonna be wild. There's gonna be probably some dark spots.
Computer, we're going to sync with Mayumi Matsushita. Prepare the machine.
Well,
Can we even do it?
What happened?
the sync machine isn't operating to capacity. Yesterday's sync, well, suffice to say, Ota and Date were not too compatible.
Compatible?
I'll give you the big picture. To get the synchronization working properly, I had to push the machine pretty hard. And now, it's not responding.
How long will it take to fix?
16 hours. At
Holy.
least.
You've got 8.
She always cuts it in half.
Possible.
So we can't sync yet, huh?
But we need to, or this investigation is going nowhere.
Date, I suggest we go to Matsushita Diner. We may be able to find some clues.
True.
Good idea.
So that's how the killer got the knife, at least from what I know.
Computer, we're counting on you for those repairs. I'll be back in 6 hours.
But you said 8.
She keeps cutting
You
it.
have to give me at least 8.
That pewter, always so humble. He'll have it done in 6.
Yeah, Computer is just that kind of guy, you know?
So mean.
This is a hostile work environment.
Yeah, the thing is, we don't know about, like, there's so many things we still don't know about.
Why would Mayumi lie?
She is probably protecting someone.
But who?
Surely you know by now. There is only one person Mayumi would want to protect that badly.
Oda. It would be Oda, right? Or is it Soshi? No, it can't be Soshijima, but Soshijima was proven to be the killer, apparently. We'll do Oda first.
It's Ota.
It has to be.
Does Mayumi think Ota is the killer?
Last night, Ota left Matsushita Diner with Iris. Mayumi saw the whole thing.
But Ota was stabbed in the stomach by the culprit. Does Mayumi not remember that?
Is her, is his mom an accomplice?
It is possible that she thinks Ota is responsible for everything.
She thinks Ota stabbed himself?
Yes.
Why would he
Then
do that?
who's in a bear costume?
Before I explain, I would like to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the possibility that Ota is the new Cyclops killer?
There's plausible cause for it. There's reasons why he would be the culprit.
In yesterday's Somnium, Ota and the polar bear.
That was just a dream. It doesn't necessarily reflect what happened in reality.
The van was stolen while Iris was in the passenger seat. We know that whoever did it is the culprit we're looking for.
There is a chance that Iris was not in the passenger seat. She could have been driving.
How so?
Iris could have taken the wheel herself and driven to the warehouse.
But forensics only found Ota's fingerprints on the wheel.
That can be explained. It is possible that Iris covered her fingertips with her sleeves.
Why would she do that, though?
Iris had her left eye pulled out. Ota would never do that.
Have you considered that she pulled it out herself?
What?
Or even asked Ota to do it? Perhaps she ordered him to.
Pretty fucking wild theory.
In short, Ota and Iris are accomplices. This was all a performance.
But who was in the panda? I mean, the polar bear costume then?
Iris drove the Matsushida's van. Ota drove the station wagon. They went to the warehouse separately. Then, they prepared the live stream. Iris anesthetized her left eye and removed it. Either that, or she asked Ota to extract it. After that, Iris took her position on the table, and Ota donned the polar bear costume and started the saw. Consider this. In the stream, Ota and the polar bear were never on screen at the same time.
Yeah, they...
True. That means Ota went off camera, took off the costume.
took out the costume, came around. Yeah, they were never... That is true.
Perhaps Mayumi witnessed the entire event. It is also possible that Mayumi knew what the two were up to.
So she lied to protect Ota.
Yes, but this is only a theory.
Wild theory.
Consider the possibility that Iris killed Shoko and Renju.
Then, this whole thing was to get her off the suspects list. That's why she pulled out her eye and had Ota stab himself. It makes it look like there's another criminal involved.
I will repeat myself in saying that this is only a theory. It is one of many possibilities.
It's possible, but I don't think it's very likely. They wouldn't go that far just to avoid suspicion.
Date, you must consider the mental state of the serial killer. Shoko and Renju were both exposed and displayed. And they both had their left eye removed while they were still alive. Whoever our killer is, it is clear that they are sociopathic or even psychotic.
We can't rule anything out.
Oh no. Theory. It could maybe explain Iris. But I don't think Ota's like a psychopath. I think he's just an accomplice within it. But he's like super devout to Iris, which could be the sociopath or or psychopath. I think it's more psychopath than anything.
Ota, why are you...
Why did you arrest Mom? You said you were gonna clear her! Why?
Well, you have a lot of explaining to do too, dude. Looks like some pretty decent prizes for those mills.
So worried that my stomach is in knots.
The surgery was successful, but they told me she isn't out of the ICU yet.
You know what? Why the theory of her being the new Cyclops killer doesn't make sense? It's mainly because of her, I guess, her past. Nothing too extreme that we know of happened to Iris. So, don't know. Don't know what. I don't know. And it's something doesn't add up there either. She's just looking at me.
Okay? How could I be okay? I got stabbed by a serial killer.
Easy, kid. You're gonna open up your stitches.
Hi, Freya.
Of course I am. That's my mom. What son wouldn't be worried about his mom?
When I was in the hospital, the police came to me. They told me that my mom confessed. I couldn't believe it, so I went to the police station. But because she was under investigation, they wouldn't let me see her. After that, I didn't feel like going back to the hospital. That's why I'm here.
You asked me why your mom was arrested earlier, but she isn't under arrest.
What?
I spoke with her as part of my investigation, yes. But as a source of valuable information, not as a suspect. Mayumi confessed, but it's highly likely that she's lying. So we haven't issued a warrant for her arrest.
That's what I've been saying. Mom didn't do it. She's innocent.
Word is going around. Maybe Iris was the one who killed Shoko and Renju.
Ooh.
And you and her planned this warehouse incident to get her off our suspects list.
No way. Tessa had her eye.
She could have pulled it out herself, or asked you to do it.
You're kidding me, right? Do you really think I would do that? I was fighting for my life against the criminal.
That wasn't caught on camera, though.
Yeah, it's not
Neither was
proven.
the part where you got stabbed.
You're saying that I stabbed myself?
It wouldn't be the first time you faked something, would it, Ota?
True.
I'm telling you, I didn't!
Then why is Mayumi protecting you?
Mom is protecting me?
Your mother is stubborn. She's lying to us because she's protecting someone. The only person I can think of would be you.
Why?
Apparently, she thinks that you're the criminal.
Why would she think that?
Your guess is as good as mine. Got any ideas?
Maybe because of her condition. Mom has
Dementia.
Maybe her memory is just mixed up. Everything is my fault. It's because of me that Mom is... I know how it looks now, but back in the day, the diner was doing pretty good. You know Bloom Park is close by here, right? People who visited the park would stop here a lot. But ever since the explosion 8 years ago...
The chemical plant accident?
Yeah. We're just barely outside of the restricted area, but... because Bloom Park closed, the number of customers dropped by a lot. The diner didn't last much longer. When this place closed, Dad started working at a Chinese restaurant chain during the day, and he was a security guard and traffic cop at night. Mom worked as a janitor. They were both working hard and barely got any sleep.
And you?
I was just a high school student at the time. I was such a dumbass. I thought it was totally normal to have both parents working, so I didn't even get a part-time job. And they bought me a PC and idol concert tickets. I had it good, but we were drowning in debt. And there's a loan on the house and the diner. Mom and Dad didn't let this place go. There are too many memories here to give it up, so they slaved day and night to keep it open. They worked and worked and worked. Thanks to them, I was even able to go to a good university, but right after I started, Dad,
Passed away?
yeah, he had a heart attack. From overwork. But even then, I didn't get it, you know? I didn't appreciate how hard they worked for me. Even when I wasn't taking college seriously and getting bad grades, my mom didn't say a thing. She just smiled and told me that it was okay, even when I told her I was going to drop out. Mom, I'm thinking of dropping out of college.
What? Why do you want to do that, Ota?
I decided that I'm going to become a writer.
Wow. A writer? Oh, that's a good goal to have.
A fucking hard goal.
But you really should finish college. You work so hard to get in.
You don't understand, Mom.
Oh, she
A writer
does.
has to put all of their time into their creativity. I won't have time to go to classes. Plus, I'm friends with the editor of a publishing company. I'm definitely going to have my first book published.
Is that right?
Put all your cards in one bowl.
Ota, if you say so, I won't stop you. Do what makes you happy. You'll turn out just fine. I know you can do it.
At least she's supportive.
And no matter what happens, Mom will always be on your side, okay? Forever and ever. I'll always support
Forever
you, Ota.
and ever and ever.
Yeah, how'd you guess? It was really just a few texts back and forth, but I was thrilled. I thought I could make it as a writer because of that. But it's impossible. I know there's no way I can be a writer. I've never even finished writing a novel. Not even once. I always give up after the first 5,000 words. To even apply for the amateurs contest, you have to submit 10 times that. But Mom, she kept supporting me.
It's like, yeah, maybe if you survive all this, you could write a book about this. That will definitely get you published and you'll sell a shit ton of copies. Dude, you're living a fucking story right here. If you're not, of course, involved with all this.
Not long after I quit college, Mom was always smiling at me. But I think she was starting to slip mentally. One day.
Oh, what's wrong, Ota? Do you have the day off from school?
Are you being sarcastic?
Oh, right. You don't attend anymore. Oopsie, I totally forgot.
How can you forget your own son's career choice?
Sorry,
He didn't know.
Anyway, are you hungry? You haven't eaten anything since this morning, have you?
Are you kidding?
What?
I ate breakfast and lunch already.
Oh, did you? By the way, Ota, what's living at the dorms like?
Why are you making fun of me?
I'm not teasing you, honey.
Don't fuck with me!
Yeah, he didn't know at the time.
Mom got sick because I'm such a piece of shit. I was only thinking about myself. I didn't take care of her.
Like, dude, you can't cause dementia,
I didn't
dude.
realize she was sick. I thought she was messing with me. I was so cruel to her for no reason. And she got worse and worse.
Like, yeah, overworking and all that stuff isn't really technically correlated with dementia. We're still trying to figure all this out anyway.
What's that picture?
Looking at this photo reminds me.
Whole
One
family.
time, when I was a kid, I said something really bad to Mom and Dad, and they scolded me for it. And it's not like it was an apology or anything, but Dad and I gave her a Mother's Day gift. My mom was so happy that she cried. That's what this photo is from. Why did it turn out like this? I'm such a bad son.
Hey, Aiba.
What is it?
I don't like Ota one bit. But I can't imagine that this guy's the criminal.
Nah.
Why is that?
Hearing his story made me think that he's not such a bad guy.
Your presumption is illogical.
Human beings are illogical.
Yeah, that's
We're
true.
not like you AI. We can't be logical all the time.
But if it's a
We
sociopath
make up for it in one
or
very
a
important way.
psychopath,
What is that?
Intuition.
Do you find that useful?
At times.
Hmm.
Aiba, let's go back to the cold storage warehouse. We might be missing something.
Understood.
understood. Leave him be. Alright, we'll just do this one to see where it leads, and then we'll just call it a night. Unless something dramatic happens at the warehouse. Which I don't think. We'll find out.
Date, weren't you going to check the warehouse?
I was, but a thought occurred to me.
Something outside. Let's talk to these guys first. But it's most likely the cars that we need to investigate. A police officer. A police officer. Police officer van.
Who drove the van here?
There are two possibilities. Either Iris or the criminal who kidnapped Iris.
And Mayumi?
Mm-hmm.
Considering the time that she purchased the chocolate, that would be almost impossible.
Okay.
The van was hijacked from the Famisto parking lot at 10:32 p.m. At that time, Mayumi was in the 812 convenience store more than 100 yards away.
Okay, so we pretty much narrowed down that she didn't drive that van.
Aiba, are you sure that Ota took this car?
Fingerprints.
As I've already explained, the security cameras at the Famisto parking lot saw the entire incident clearly.
So it was definitely Ota who drove it here.
Fingerprints and security
Why
camera.
are you stating the obvious?
We found the chocolate Mayumi bought on the floor of the cold storage warehouse.
So
It
how did
doesn't
she
prove
get
she was
there?
actually at the scene.
True.
If she was, how did she get here? She wasn't in the van or the station wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, a different car.
But where is
I will
this
search
car?
for all vehicles that were in this area from Sunday night to Monday morning.
Yeah, there's a missing link there.
Found one hit.
Oh,
Taxi.
a taxi.
Where's that taxi now?
It is parked in Lemniscate's parking lot.
At Lemniscate.
Lemniscate?
Unknown. But we should speak with the driver immediately.
Okay. Okay. One more. Maybe we should just wrap this path up, though. We're in a good pace right now.
Hey, got a minute?
Are you talking to moi?
Mwah.
Date, now is not the time to be distracted by this old man's diction.
Mind if I ask you what you're doing here?
Moi? I am but a humble taxicab driver.
There we go.
I'm with the police. I have some questions for you.
Not this.
Sofa King.
Don't.
Was it gonna make a joke? Oh, wait, we got. No, sofa. Aw. I think I know what joke he was gonna say.
I was born in Kawago, Saitama.
Then why do you talk like that?
I don't know what you mean. I've spoken this way all my life. My parents speak with the same vernacular.
Interesting.
I have just finished conveying my client from Tameke Sano's studio. I was informed that the visit here would be brief, and thus I have decided to wait in this lobby.
Did you drive this passenger on Sunday night?
Ooh, I did indeed.
Yep,
I
there you go.
remember her well. The old hag.
Old hag.
Was
I
she
took her on a
rude?
tour of the streets of Tokyo. Our ultimate destination was the warehouse district in Ariake.
Why didn't you report this to the police?
Reported?
You don't know about the incident at the cold storage warehouse? It was all over the news.
No, I'm afraid not. Newspapers and television news programs have never been much of an interest to moi.
Mwah.
I recall it was around 10 in the evening. Near the Kabasaki district, an unassuming restaurant named Matsushita Diner. That's where I picked up the old hag. And as soon as she stepped foot in my conveyance, she was already barking orders at me. Follow that van, hurry! I must admit, I found it rather exciting, just like an old chase film. I, of course, insisted that I be paid up front. We pursued the van for roughly half an hour. Suddenly, the van came to a halt at a convenience store.
The Famisto along Koshu, right?
Precisely right. I am surprised you know that. In any case, I knew that the jig would be up if we were seen following the van. So I decided to drive past it. I parked at the 8 store, but 100 yards from there. While waiting for the object of our pursuit to make its next move, the old hag suddenly spoke up. I have to buy something, she declared, then made her way into the 8.
This must be when Mayumi bought the Odoroki Man chocolate.
A few minutes later, the old hag finished making her purchases and walked out. And then, at that very moment, I witnessed the van jet off at great speed down Koshu. I hurried the old hag inside my vehicle, then resumed the chase. We followed them for roughly half an hour more.
I see. If the driver's story is correct, Mayumi did not know that Oto was left behind at the Famisto.
Mayumi thought Ota was in the van the whole time.
We then arrived at a splendid manor. The van entered the premises through the front gate and disappeared from view. We, of course, could not follow, so we waited outside. I estimate another 10 minutes passed. The front gate opened once again, and the van drove out, and we pursued. But 30 minutes later, our pursuit was foiled again.
What happened?
The van drove into the restricted Kabasaki district. The old hag, of course, demanded that I follow. But I was not about to risk my license and livelihood. Instead, I parked on the road and waited for the van to drive back the way it came. But of course, we knew it might not take the same road back. In fact, we were not even sure the van would be coming back at all. But the old hag was not keen on giving up, so we began our stakeout. About 45 minutes later, The date had changed at this point. It was 12:25 a.m. on Monday.
How do you remember the time so well?
Well, you see, I always keep my radio dial on the same station. I remember precisely which programs were playing during this endeavor. Thus, I can approximate the time.
I see. Please continue.
At 12:25 a.m., the old hag's tenacious gamble paid dividends. The van returned down the same street. And thus, we again made pursuit. I kept considerable distance. We had come so far, I did not want to get caught now. But my caution backfired. I lost sight of the van in the Ariake warehouses. Without so much as a thank you, the old hag popped open the door and took off toward the warehouses. I waited for some time, but the old hag did not return. The goose was cooked at this point, so I made the decision to return home. I am glad I had the foresight to ask for payment in advance.
I follow your story. I have one more question. Where is this manor the van stopped at?
Oh, every taxi driver in the city knows that residence. It is the personal home of Congressman So Sajima.
Sajima? Why did the van go to So's house?
Which in the other timeline that we just did, he was the killer.
Agreed. Let's move.
Okay, this might go on for a little bit longer, so I think I'll call it here.